All right, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. It's the welterweight division. It's the beginning of the year. Looking forward to what's going to be happening in the next couple months. Jaron Ennis's trainer, BOZY Ennis, gives his insight on the biggest fight that we know taking place this year with Errol Spence Jr. or Yordenis Ugas, but also talks a little Terence Crawford in it. So let's review what he said, give you my thoughts, and then please, in the comment section, after you've listened to the whole video, put your comments and let me know what you think as well. Let's do that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Welcome back to our boxing fan forum where we talk about all things boxing. Also, please make sure before you leave, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, share the video, hit the like button, and also leave a comment in the comments section. Great conversations go on below the video in the comment section. So I, encourage you to participate in that. But let's get into the subject matter of it. All right, great channel that's out there doing a lot of really good reporting. YSM Sports Media recently put up an interview that you can watch over there on that channel from BOZY Ennis. Now, BOZY Ennis is the father and trainer of one of the best fighters in boxing, Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, notice what I said. I'm telling you that he is one of the best fighters in boxing. Not one of the best young contenders, not one of the best prospects, one of the best fighters in boxing. I am beating everybody to the end of that line because that kid right there is a super talent. And when all is said and done, hopefully all will be said and done in the year 2022 in the welterweight division, Jaron Ennis is going to be at the top of that division, probably take over that division, and hopefully give us a lot of really super fights with guys like Speedy Rashidi Ellis, Virgil Ortiz, right? Guys like Josh Taylor moving up. Hopefully we get to see those if we're not lucky enough to actually see him fight the top guys in the division right now, who are Yordenis Ugas, Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford. But regardless, his camp, excellent fighter, and his father is definitely a boxing guy, knows the sport very, very well, also gives very, very good insights on other fights. And he was asked what he thought about the Errol Spence Jr. fight with Yordenis Ugas, and was asked things like, and this is what I've really found interesting, and I like that he said it because it's something that I've been thinking, but I didn't really know how to put it, right? He was asked, what do you think about Errol Spence Jr.? Do you think that there's any, holdover from the accidents related, with Errol Spence Jr. or all of that? What's your opinion on that? And he said, look, he said he looks good to me. He said he looks good. It looked to him, he's like, he doesn't see everything that these other people are talking about with Errol Spence Jr. not looking good against Danny Garcia or not looking good after that car accident. And he's like, look, the guy looks just like what he's doing, what he's supposed to do, right? He's getting in there. He's beating the guys the way he's supposed to beat them. He's fighting top-notch fighters, and he's getting the win. So he's like, I don't see any drop-off in Errol Spence Jr. What I see is him going in there and doing what he's supposed to do. And I was like, really, that's what I have tried. That's what I've been saying in a perspective that I've been trying to share, that, and this is something that people say pretty much everywhere, right? In boxing, is that when you get to a certain level of fighter, the knockouts stop coming as frequently because you're fighting top-notch guys. So when you get in there against a Kell, but he obviously did stop Kell Brook. But when you're fighting Shawn Porter is somebody that's very difficult to look good against at all. Even with the win with Shawn Porter over when Shawn Porter lost to Terence Crawford did not necessarily look all that good against him until he wound up figuring him out and getting the knockout on him, right? Guys like Danny Garcia, nobody's knocked out Danny Garcia. And on top of that, nobody's even come close to beating Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a counterpuncher that absolutely has the ability to knock you out at 147 pounds if you get too if you get too slick with it, right? So the fact that he didn't get a knockout with Danny Garcia or didn't get a knockout with Sean Porter doesn't mean that he's not the same fighter he was when he was knocking out guys like Leonard Bundu and Chris Algieri and Chris Van Heerden and guys like that. I mean, that is a lower level of fighter. And, where you can bowl through those guys and crack those guys and get those out of there. With Errol Spence Jr., those guys are coming, looking for a war, knowing that they're in a war, and those guys are prepared themselves to go through the war for 12 rounds. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there was any drop off for him, right? So, but then BOZY Ennis continues the conversation, and he's asked whether or not he thinks that Errol Spence Jr. is ready for Terence Crawford. And he's like, yeah, man, he's been ready for Terence Crawford. Like, absolutely. There's nothing. He's ready for him. He's in condition to get that, to take that fight, right? And now he didn't go so far as to say that, who he thought would win the fight, because the clip stopped right there. Right? And I have a suspicion. That's why I say, man, go subscribe to those guys at YSM Sports Media. They really do very good work. They've got interviews up there with other fighters. Like I forget, is it Santiago? But other fighters that are coming up in the gyms. They're guys that are actually out there, in the gym, interviewing people in the gym, which is different. And I try to tell people that when they come into the comment section for this video, that this is a boxing fan forum. The purpose of this channel is to have just have a flowing conversation with boxing fans, whether it's through Instagram, and that's why I run my Instagram down here, or whether it's through Twitter, whether it's through the comment section of YouTube, or for certain people, if we have a good relationship, there's people that I carry on conversations with through direct email, right? But it's a boxing fan forum. Those guys are out there actually getting the words out of the mouths of the boxers. So, salute to them. Don't ever, and I'm not putting videos up of their content, because I don't want to take their content and repost it or do anything like that. I'll just point them to you guys, to them. But anyway, very, very enlightening. I love the conversation with him, but I'm also telling you that this guy, the reason why I respect BOZY Ennis so much is similar to Derek James, right? He is actually developing a fighter from the ground up that is a world-class level fighter, and that is something that a lot of trainers don't do, right? You can also say the same thing about the people that brought Bomac and the different trainers in Terence Crawford's gym. It's people that have brought up guys, from the ground up, trained them from the ground up, and developed them into the fighters that they are. So, I'm going to definitely respect his opinion just because I see, what a great fighter his son is. And also, looked up the record. I haven't seen any film on his other sons, but his other sons were definitely one brother for sure that I know was a top-notch fighter out of Philadelphia. But my understanding is that he just kind of went the wayside, kind of went into other distractions, right? I'm not going to say what he did or didn't do. Don't want to, demean the family in any way. But he just kind of got drawn into it, like a lot of young people get drawn off into other things and may have lost his focus. But Jaron Ennis is just a really, really special fighter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this dude can do. I hope that he can actually get the fight with Errol Spence or Terence Crawford before it's all over with. But, the way that boxing works, it seems like he's going to be the guy that's there after they leave. And then we're going to have a bunch of people talk about, who has he fought, what has he done, and all of that stuff. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting conversation. Please make sure you let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Errol Spence Jr. with these car accidents are done? Do you think that what do you think about the concept of somebody being a better, just as you move up in weight and people knowing what your game plan is, that, that they're going to defend themselves against it and make the fight just a little bit harder for you, especially if you're a top level fighter. But anyway, that's my take on the situation. And you let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.